We're live. I'm in a very, very bad mood, JFYI, because I spent all day recording video at the SoulWords studios, and I find out that the audio has buzz in it. And I'm very, 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 very just...
You are now unmuted.
Devastated, because I spent so much money setting up that studio, and we had the buzzing issue a few times. Once when I had the mayor, when I had Eric Adams come, which was like a lot of pressure because they were only able to be there for like a very tight schedule, and and there was buzz. Whenever we use some software to remove the buzz, but it doesn't sound normal. And then other times, I whatever. I'm not going to get into the whole thing of it, but it's very, very upsetting. You don't realize how much money. You can't even imagine how much money I spent on this setup, on this studio. And there's buzz. Like, not every time. That's the thing. It's like, sometimes it's fine. Most of the time it's fine. You just never know. You just never know what day, which mic is going to have problems. And I can't get answers. And I spent crazy money to get it set up. I don't know what's the point. I'm here in my little garage now. My old studio is fine. Old studio is fine. So then what's the point of the new studio if I don't have 100% consistency of knowing that the audio is clean? And then the volume's not even normal. Half the time the volume's low. And then I'm told, oh, the volume is turned down so we don't hear the buzz. Well, then get rid of the buzz. So I'm in a very, very, very bad mood. And I'm having a hard time concealing it. How are you doing? Right. When's our first caller ready? They're on? Okay, so let's just go to the caller. Caller's probably thrilled to talk to me when I'm in this bad mood. Hi, first caller. What's the first caller's name?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how's it going? My name's Lyle.
Hi there, Lyle. So what's on your mind?
Well, I saw your Instagram reel and it prompted me to write in. I've been getting a lot of comfort from some of your videos recently. So
fantastic.
I thought I'd talk. Yeah. Well, I'll cut to it. I suppose I'm having issues with my family at the moment. My sister, who I was very close to when I was younger, isn't speaking to me anymore. And that's been happening for about 8 months. And we had a very close bond when we were younger, and it's been very difficult.
How old are you now?
I'm 32 years old.
Mm-hmm. And she's close to you in age?
She will be, it was her 26th birthday a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. So about 6 years apart.
Yeah, something like that. The family unit that we grew up in was difficult at times, and I sort of acted as a secondary caretaker for her at certain points, especially when things were strained between my parents. So,
I hear. So you were like more than a big brother. You were, in some ways, you took a parental role. Are you the oldest boy in the family?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
There's 2 boys, and then she's the younger sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stepped up.
I'm
saying in a home where the parents weren't always available in the ways that one might want, you took on a lot of responsibility.
Sure. I mean, I don't want to over egg it. I don't want it to make up like I'm, the hero of the situation.
No,
it certainly felt like that.
No, it's not. I'm not trying to compliment you. I'm just describing a situation, and it's a very common situation that if there's a lack of parental attention, that very often the oldest boy, very typical, the oldest boy sort of steps up and takes on a lot of responsibility. So it's just a reality, and it happens to be your reality. At any rate, so your sister, she's the only girl, and you kind of, you were like kind of her protector a little bit? Yeah.
When we were growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she would come to me as a safe person.
That's a safe person,
I think that's
okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. And now what happened?
I moved away from home. I'm calling from the States right now. I'm from the UK originally. I moved away from home about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I guess things have been, it's been a strain to kind of keep the relationship the same as it was when we were younger.
Right.
And just after enough successive times going home, there being enough communication faults, it just wears on both of them, I guess. And there have been times when I've let my emotions really get the better of me. And I think she has as well, but
What does that mean? Times that you've let your emotions get the better of you? What does that mean?
I suppose what that means is I've found myself in situations where I've raised my voice and said some hurtful things
to her.
To her and my brother, yeah.
So you moved away about 10 years ago. They stayed. They stayed behind.
Sure. Yeah, they did.
And then you've gone to visit, and there were some contentious moments when you were visiting.
Yeah, I suppose what happens is you go home, and it's usually for a short period of time,
right?
And there's a lot of things in the chamber, maybe that in a normal situation you would be able to. I mean, but so there's a lot of stuff that's sort of unresolved, and things can get heated quite quickly, and that sort of cut in with the fact that our parents divorced, and there's different family dynamics on the table, and my stepmother, for example, and so yeah, it's just it can be difficult sometimes. Is what I'm trying to say. It's
right.
And it's gone especially bad in the last couple of years. And as I say, it's been about 8 months since we've spoken. I tried to speak to her on her birthday, and we basically just agreed that she wasn't ready and that being on the phone with me would be too difficult for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know from her what her, I don't want to call it complaint, but from her side, what's her description of why she feels like it's difficult to deal with you right now?
Sure, that's fair. I think she's frustrated that she can't confront me without me getting upset. And I can control myself in the moment, but I think I feel threatened when I'm confronted with it, and on more than one occasion that's ended not as well as I'd like.
Okay. So and she's told you this. Are you guessing, or she told you this?
I mean, she's told me, more or less. We communicate fairly clearly about it over text, but
so she's told you clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a mystery. It's not a mystery.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
Okay, but that's good news. It's not like you have to guess what's making her uncomfortable, and apparently it makes her so uncomfortable that she can't really handle dealing with you right now.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is.
Basically, I'm going to guess. I mean, you can tell me if this is right or wrong, but she doesn't really know how to relax around you, let her guard down around you, because she can't anticipate when you're going to explode.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay. So she doesn't feel safe around you.
Yeah.
And you know why that breaks my heart, Lyle? Because you were her protector.
Yeah.
You were the one who ensured her safety. And it's like tragic to me that she doesn't feel safe with you right now because you would do anything for her, and you've done so much for her. And you don't want to ever make her feel unsafe.
Yeah.
But you're failing to regulate your emotions.
Yeah.
Where did you learn
definitely.
that? Who showed you that? What model are you imitating when you fail to regulate your emotions?
I think my mom. Yeah. Definitely my mom.
Tell me about that.
It's hard, you know. I mean,
I know it's hard.
she was prideful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the deepest stuff. This is painful stuff. But we're gonna do it because we want to heal. So let's talk about it. Yeah, your mother was prideful.
You're right.
She could never admit she was wrong. She was never wrong.
She's right.
Never.
Yes.
Never.
Yeah, right.
She could murder
Never,
you, and you
ever
have to
wrong.
apologize.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
She was very prideful, and she couldn't take criticism.
Right.
You know, it's hard for me to say this now because there's kind of got a fear somewhat of her.
You're still afraid
hearing
of her.
this.
You're still afraid of her. You're a grown man on the other side of an ocean, and you're still afraid.
Yeah.
Because
I think deep down I am.
For sure. Because when you're a little child and a big adult is scary, that leaves an impression, never goes away. I mean, you know that she can't do anything to you right now, but it doesn't matter because you remember being a child and being helpless.
Yeah.
And what did you do? You stood up and you said, if I can get in between her and my sister to be a buffer, then I'm going to do that. Did you? Is that right? Did you make it a little bit easier for your sister?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
She had it
I
easier.
spent an awful lot. Yeah.
Right. Because
she did until
when?
Yeah, she did until she did until my parents divorced, and that was around the time that I left, and she was alone with my dad for a number of years. And, I think that had an effect on her as well. I know it did. I think that put an additional strain. You know?
Well, that's not your fault. The fact that you had to move on and you left. I mean, I'm sure you have guilt about it that you wish you could have continued to be the buffer, but that's not your fault.
Yeah.
That you had to move on and have your own life. And I don't even think your sister faults you for that. In all of her complaints to you, I don't think, is she saying to you, why did you leave and leave me to deal with our father on my own? I don't think, does she complain about that?
No, but sometimes I feel like I'm waiting for it in the head.
What?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm worried that that's what she's going to say.
No. It has nothing to do with it. You're faulting yourself for something that's not your fault, but you're failing to take responsibility for something that is your fault. So let's separate these two things. Your sister does not fault you for having a life and for growing up and moving, even though you feel guilty that you wanted to be there to continue to absorb the dysfunction for her. You feel guilty, but she doesn't fault you for that. But there's something she does fault you for. And you know what it is?
Yeah.
For acting like your mother to her.
Yeah.
The rage, the prideful rage that you absorbed from your mother and that you're still afraid of absorbing from her, you took it and you put it on your sister, who you wanted to protect. And now, just like you had to physically move away the whole ocean to get yourself safe, your sister is trying to make herself feel safe, and she's not taking your call.
Yeah.
We're going to do this super fast, okay? Like, I like to work fast. Okay. So everything,
right.
I mean, if I'm saying anything incorrect, I want you to tell me. I want you to call me out and say, Rabbi, that doesn't really apply. Okay. If it doesn't apply, tell me it doesn't apply. It all applies so far. Okay, good. So here's how I'm going to hack this whole thing to come up with a really simple answer. I'm going to ask you a question. This is a painful question because it's really a fantasy that'll probably never come true. But what could your mother do? Okay. What could she do? I know she'll never do it unless there's a miracle. But what could she do that would make you feel safe around her again, or for the first time? What could she do now?
Be able to get to a conversation where I express how I feel without taking it personally.
Say it again.
And
say it
saying
again.
At the end,
say it again.
Being able to get through a conversation with me without being able to take it personally, what I say.
Say it one more time.
Being able to get through a conversation with me without being offended by what I'm saying about her.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a new question. I'm going to ask you a new question. What could you do to make your sister feel safe around you again? Say it. Say it.
Expressing to her that I'm not getting offended by what she has to say if we talk about the last 10 years or our lives.
So you know the answer already, because it's the thing that your mother will never do for you, but you have enough self-awareness and self-control, you could do this for your sister.
Yeah.
Now, the hard part is going to be to convince her that you're going to be able to get through it, because she may not, what do they say? Fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, shame on me. She might not want to be a fool. Like, I don't know, I trusted him so many times and got burnt. I don't want to get burnt again. So the hard part might be to convince her, and I think there may be ways of getting her a message and saying, I really reflected upon this, and I realized I totally did everything you said that I did, and I realize now it's the same thing that our mother did to me, and I don't feel safe around her, and now I completely understand why you don't feel safe around me.
Be that blunt about it.
Totally. Who has time not to be blunt?
Yeah.
You tell her, I've been living in America. I became blunt.
Okay. I'll start with that.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to wait a while before I do, but I think that's
it's not an emergency
place to start.
It's not urgent. You do you do it when you feel that you're in a good space where you can say it and really mean it. And then, of course, that you have to back it up, because if you make a promise like that and she believes you and then you don't follow through, then you're in worse shape than you were already. If someone doesn't trust you and you convince them to give you a second chance, and then they get burnt from trusting you from the second chance, that's it. You'll never get a third chance.
Yeah. I sometimes get worried that I've burnt through all my chances.
Yeah. But I think it's a little bit different, because you can come to her with the self-awareness and say, I totally just realized that this is the reason why I'm not safe around our mother, is because she cannot get through a conversation where anyone even implies anything less than perfection on her part, and she loses her cool. And that's why I don't feel safe around her. And I realize I'm literally doing the exact same thing. And it's not okay. I don't want to be that person. First of all, I don't want to be, you tell her, I spent my whole youth trying to be your protector. So it breaks my heart that I've failed at that. But I don't want to be this person. Even for myself, I don't want to be this person. I want to break this cycle of being hypersensitive to any perceived criticism.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to be ready. You're going to have to sit through it, and she's going to tell you, you did this, and you did this, and you did this, and it's going to really burn. It's going to burn. And you're going to be like, well, can I say something in my defense? But you're not going to do that. You're going to be like, okay, you're right. I can hear this. I can hear it. And I don't have to deflect I don't have to defend it. I can just hear it. I don't even have to give a passive aggressive apology like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Just the non-apology apology.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just absorb it and you're like,
okay.
I hear it. Thank you for trusting me with your honesty. That's a great line, but you have to mean it. Like, thank you for trusting me with your honesty. Thank you.
Thank you for trusting me with your honesty.
Yeah.
Try that one out.
It's a great line. I mean, if you mean it, it's a great line.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for talking.
Thank you for your advice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It was really nice.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Be well.
Have
Okay.
a good night.
All right. All right. Wonderful caller. I think he sounds like a good guy. Fine, upstanding young gentleman. And I hope that works out for him. I don't think it'll be overly difficult for him. With God's help, obviously, always with God's help. Okay. Is there another caller on the line? Oh, wow. So we have a little bit of time. Okay. So I'm going to check the chat, just see how the chat's going. Someone says, Shalom Aleichem, what's the email to ask a question? The email is not to ask a question. The email is to tell me what question you'd like to ask. Basically, it's a vetting process to make sure you're not a troll. The email is info@soulwords.org just info@soulwords.org. Sorry. Info@soulwords.org. Info@soulwords.org. And you just write us a 1 or 2 line sentence, 1 or 2 sentence, quick little, short little email, and basically say, here's what I want to talk about. And that's it. Are you allowed to call in with questions about Judaism and learning about the Jewish faith, or is it only question pertaining to life advice? I prefer questions that are actually pertinent to you. It could be like a question about Judaism, but it has to be something that's applicable to you personally. It can't just be like something that you could Google. You understand what I'm saying? It can't be like a ChatGPT question. It has to be something that's real to you. Hi, I've been so busy, I haven't been watching. Okay, now you're here, though. Now you are watching. Oh, man, so sorry you had the buzzing issue by recording. That is really stressful. Thank you for your sympathy. I appreciate that. Okay, from this, I must appreciate Slach Lonu. No matter how many times God gets burnt by me, he still gives me another chance. That's a great insight. Thank you for that, Yitzi. I hope this comment is appropriate. Yeah, it's very appropriate. It's great. Okay, do you say our next caller is waiting? Okay, who's our next caller? Okay, Dana. Dana, hi.
Hi, Rabbi. How are you?
Thank God I'm okay. I'm alive. You know, that's the important thing. How are you doing?
Same. Thank God.
Okay, thank God. Okay. So what do you want to talk about?
Sunny Florida. No, I was saying I'm calling from sunny South Florida.
Sunny South Florida. Okay, excellent. We had a cool day today in New York, by the way. It was like in the 60s today. Yeah.
Oh, that is nice. Now, here is still summer.
Yeah, it's summer all year long in Florida. Okay, so what's up? What do you want to talk about?
So I have like a 2-part question.
Okay.
And it is very applicable to my current scenario between 2 jobs.
Okay.
So I wanted to know that when we ask God for help, advice, and guidance,
yes,
is it possible that we do see physical signs of the answer to our question?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the simple answer.
If we do.
So was that the first part? That was the first. Because you said 2-part question.
So
okay.
My second part.
So the first. By the way, if I had answered the first question no, then the second question would not even be applicable.
Correct.
Okay, but I said yes.
I figured yes.
You knew. You predicted. You predicted I would say yes. Yes. Okay, so now the follow-up question. Yeah.
The follow-up question is that I imagine and I'm taught that God always has our best interests and wants what's good for us, and everything that,
Yes.
happens to us is for the good.
Yes, it's so true. And you know what the problem is? That is not consistent with what I think is good for me, and it causes me pain. He always,
right. But we have to. So we're assuming that the big picture that God has for us is
it's good.
Positive.
It's all good.
It's important for whatever.
But it doesn't mean that it's going to feel good.
Right. But so my question is, if I know that God is doing what's good for me, even if it doesn't feel good, and that means that if God's giving me a sign that I asked for, to guide me in a direction, it would be obvious that I should take the direction of the sign. But then, how does that go along with free will? Because now it wouldn't make sense for me not to take the sign, but now kind of I lost my free will.
Okay, let me just say this back to you. This is a cool question. So the first question was, could God show us signs? And the answer is, of course he could. It doesn't mean that he will, and doesn't mean that it'll happen in the way that you want it to, but he could definitely, he does at times show us very clear signs. Okay, then your follow-up was, all right, well, now I think I've seen a clear sign. If we are also saying it's axiomatic that God always has our best interests in mind, so then it's clear I should follow that sign. You didn't even ask that as a question. You just said that. You didn't even ask, is it clear that I should follow that sign? You were like, no, I should follow that sign. There's no question. I should follow that sign. But now, what's with free will? Okay, so it's a very interesting question. My question would have, the question that you glossed over and didn't ask is the question that I would have asked. It's funny how everyone's so different. I would have asked, am I allowed to rely on the fact that the sign that God is showing me isn't a misdirect? How do I know he's not like showing me something that's not going to be so?
True.
Yeah, but you have so much faith. You're like, no, if he showed me a sign, for sure that's the right way. Okay, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, and I did skip over that. Like, I have a lot of bitachon, and I really try to take what I see as like simple, like, yes, that's where I should.
Yes, I love it. Simple faith. No, you're right. You're totally right. Simple faith. Now your question is, well, what's with free will? But I can answer that pretty simply.
Okay.
You're calling me and you're asking me about this because obviously you're conflicted and you need to make a choice. Well, to me, there's no clearer demonstration of the fact that you are still engaging your free will than this conversation we're having. Meaning, if it were so obvious, you would have done it already. But you didn't do it yet because you want to make sure it's the right move. And you want to process it. You want to talk it over with someone. That's true. So it's clear that you're not being compelled. The fact that we're even having this conversation.
You're right. But I'm also not like, I'm modern day Jewish person. Like, let's say we go to like the tzaddikim from Beit HaMikdash time. Like, how was their free? And they didn't ask the question. They just followed the path and signed.
Right. So you're saying, how did they have free will?
Like, you're right. Let's say that.
There's an answer to that, though. But now we're drifting away from personal questions. We're going into the theoretical questions, which I don't mind. I'll allow it for a moment. And the answer is, because I think I'm going to be able to bring it back to the personal in a second. The answer is,
Okay.
You asked a great question and used some Hebrew words, which I'm going to translate for our crowd here. You said, what about the, super righteous people who lived in the times when the Holy Temple in Jerusalem stood and there were overt miracles and all that stuff? And, how did they have free will when everything was so obvious? How did they have free will? And the answer, I think you probably know this, I'm going to say it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right, duh, is that they had negative stuff that was a lot more powerful in those days as well, to offset it, to counterbalance it, to make it an even playing field. You read stories of people in the times of the temple in Jerusalem when they had prophets and they had miracles, and people were still attracted to idol worship. It's crazy. Well, how could they even think for a moment to stray? And the answer is that when you're given a greater revelation of godliness also in order to maintain free will. So then the other side is given more power to make itself appear viable. So
I got it.
Yeah. But let's bring this back to your life. So you got a clear sign.
Yeah, very
clear.
I can be more specific. It's basically
sure.
I have a current job that has its advantages, disadvantages. And then there was a moment where I wasn't happy, so I was applying to other positions, same type of job, but different position, and something came about that was same job, but very different. So one is like private, like a private type of job, and the other one is like a nonprofit, same work, but one would be, both of them have very different advantages, disadvantages, and I'm torn between leaving what I'm comfortable in and going to this new. And the new one, I talked to God a lot, and I said, give me some kind of guidance in where I should go. And I kid you not, I drive the same routes every day. And the last week, I see 3 separate, one is a billboard, one is a bench, one of those benches that have an ad on it. And one was an actual pharmacy of this company, and the exact company that and the picture of the woman who I interviewed with was on the billboards.
Oh,
was of the new job.
Mm-hmm.
After I asked for help, it couldn't be more clear.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear.
And they didn't happen in the same day. One day I would see it and I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. And then the next day I'd be like, are you sure, God, that's where I should go? And then I'd get another one. It was just, it seems like, how could I not go with that sign? But then I was like, well, then if all my life I'm kind of chasing after these paths, I no longer am my own individual self. I just follow these. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can go crazy with that.
You could. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I, see that for every little thing, but this particular scenario, I definitely had an obvious, communication.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Hashem is constantly communicating with us. Every single thing that we see is communication from Hashem, but it's not always so easy to decode it. So, when the message is pretty obvious, that's a special thing. It doesn't mean that Hashem is more involved in your life at those times than at other times. Hashem is always involved in our life, but it's a special thing when we could see it. We see the hand of Hashem.
Right.
Yeah. So that's that should instill gratitude.
Yeah.
And the question is how to express that gratitude.
Sure. How would you express it?
That's a good question. I don't know. You want to talk about it and figure out an appropriate way to express your gratitude for Hashem's open communication?
Sure.
Okay. What do you think you could do?
I don't know. I always think of so we're pretty much I would call us modern Orthodox family.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on. So we do we do our best, we keep. I mean, we keep some of the mitzvot. We don't do everything. I'm sure there's many I can add to our routines. But I don't know specific for I don't know. I always think of ways to add a prayer or something extra that we do on Shabbat. We invite people over to our house. I don't know what else.
Well, let me ask you this:
what's specific for gratitude?
If if you feel like this sign that you got gave you, I guess, what did it give you? It gave you it gave you peace of mind. I don't know. Tell me. It saved your time from having to deliberate about this.
Well, it helped me make a decision.
Help you make a decision. Okay. So it gave you the ability to make
a hard one because I have a hard time. I'm not somebody who switches between jobs. I kind of stay solid. So it's not easy for me to tell the current employer that I'm leaving.
Okay. But the fact that you have this sign makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So basically the gift that you were given is the gift of certainty.
Right.
Confidence. Being at peace with your decision. You're going to have to make a decision one way or another either way, but having this sign gave you peace of mind.
Right.
So to me, the way to show gratitude.
And it also might have other benefits that I don't know yet. I'm sure it would.
I'm sure it does, but we can only talk about what we know. Yeah. So what we know so far.
What we know right now is it would give me more confidence, I guess, to leave one comfortable job and go to another one that's also probably going to be comfortable, but still new. And it will give me more of a it would also provide me with more of a stable salary and workday.
Oh, that's another benefit. I didn't know about that. So the salary is more stable. What does it mean, more stable? You'll actually get paid on time?
So no. So the first job is commission based, and it probably evens out to the same, but one is unstable, meaning 1 month it could be good, 1 month it could be bad. And then the second one is it's a set salary, so every paycheck is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what it's going to be.
Yeah, stability.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the reason I was looking for the job in the first place. I wasn't happy with that.
Never really knowing.
Questionable.
Right.
Right. And also the first job, I have to do more because it's commission based. I don't mind telling you, but basically I'm a dentist. And the first job is a private practice. So it's really unfortunate how medicine and dentistry kind of became where you have to sell the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Sorry, my phone was
Right.
disconnecting.
So basically, instead of just focusing on healing, you had to also be a
I have to be
lady.
a salesman, which which is not my strong suit at all.
Right.
And I hated that part of it.
Right.
And the second job is a nonprofit organization that provides services to a certain group of, like a certain community. And it's funded by, it's grants that fund it. So the patients come in and it's free for them. So I get a set salary. I don't have to sell anything. I come in. It's a very different, it's a very different vibe, you know, like totally. I just have to come in and tell them what they need, and the patient doesn't have to pay, so they don't have to worry. And I also don't have to have that heartache because it's not my office. I can't help. Like the current office I'm in, they don't allow, they really don't let me do any kind of free dentistry. If I want to help somebody, I pay for it. Like I pay for them.
Someone's got to pay for it. Yeah.
So.
And you do that now, by the way? Sometimes you feel bad and you just take care of it for them and you pay it out of pocket all the time. All the time. So, you know, right now, your salary fluctuates. You don't have predictability there. And you're paying out of pocket to do work for people when you think that they really need it and they can't afford it. So maybe when you're going to this new position where your salary will be predictable, one of the things you can do to show gratitude is set up your tzedakah, your charitable giving, in a systemized way. Meaning, since you know how much is coming in, you can just set up something that's like a recurring donation to a cause that you believe in. And especially because you're not going to be paying out of pocket anymore to cover people's bills that they can't afford. So that would free up also some money to do that with.
Right. I totally agree. I can do that. I still give tzedakah even with.
Right. I'm sure you do.
Doing that. But I could do something more like automatic. Definitely I could do.
Something you could set up something that's recurring.
That idea.
And you could breathe easy and just know that you don't have to go check your bank balance to make sure that it's covered because you know how much you're making.
Right. A good idea.
I think there'll be like an appropriate response of gratitude. That's what I think.
Yeah, I like it. I usually do this also for tzedakah, where same thing, where I'll say, you know, let me find an organization that specific for that paycheck that like pulls at my heartstrings, and then I'll randomly come across one, you know, like where somebody's talking about it, and then I'm telling you, I get these like little signs where. Oh,
okay. So get ready. I'm sure that it'll present itself. That's fantastic.
I do that a lot for tzedakah, but I could do also a recurring one. That makes it even easier.
Yeah, and it's fitting your new situation where you'll have a reliable paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of giving more or less based on how much you bring in, you just set this up. It's the same every time. And you just let it run.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be really proactive, like the extra special touch, the cherry on top, would be that it's not even automatic. You do it manual, but you commit to the same amount. So, you know, I mean, this takes discipline.
Yeah.
But like you make a thing that, I don't know, every Friday before you light Shabbos candles, you know, you're putting a certain amount of money in your tzedakah box. You're just committing that you're doing that amount. And then it becomes a regimen, has that advantage of being routine, but it also requires some consciousness.
A little effort.
Yeah, a little effort.
Yeah. I like that. I actually like that better.
Yeah.
I like think about it each time.
Yeah. Sounds like good stuff is happening.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Is it true that it's supposed to be 10% of the income?
That is advisable, yeah. Miser is 10% of your. Now, there's different ways of calculating that. You know, like if you have a business, let's say you have your gross income, but a lot of that is not real income. It's not net income because you're spending it on expenses. So then there's a question how you calculate your income. You know, the most lenient view would be it's only your savings. Other views would say if you're not a business owner, then that's your whole salary. Others would say it's after taxes. Some would say it's before taxes. In things like this, I say ask your LOI, your local Orthodox rabbi.
I guess you can't go wrong if you overdo a little. So it's, I try to stick to the 10% or whatever the check is.
That's incredible. That's great. Yeah, they say don't go over 20%, but then in other places it says you could even go over the 20%. You could give even more than 20% if you have a reason why you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the maximum generally advisable is to donate a fifth. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Listen, nobody ever went poor from giving charity, so it's a good thing.
No.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Definitely a good thing. What you want to give us any?
I always felt like.
What? You always what? Tell me.
No, I'm listening.
No, I want to hear what you're going to say.
Oh no, I was that I now I forgot. I don't remember.
All right, so I'll say my thing.
I forgot what it was gonna.
Do you want to give our community here some any dental advice?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Well, the obvious that we tell the kids is why we definitely need to brush morning and night.
Morning and night.
Most people, morning and night.
Okay.
Morning, most people do because they, feel yucky from the night.
Right.
But night, I have a lot of people skip it, and they think it's okay. Or they'll do it early and then eat again. But at night, what nobody realizes or kind of pays attention to is that you have a real reduction in saliva while you're sleeping. And your saliva is like your mechanical kind of washing of the mouth. It neutralizes the acid and it also flows and takes debris out. So when the saliva is really reduced, you have a high buildup of the bacteria. They start reproducing like crazy in the mouth. And the way we can, you're still going to have that even after you brush, and you fall asleep. But if you didn't brush and you spent your whole day, snacking and eating, and then you went to sleep and now you have food stuck in your teeth and you might not see it, but it's there. The bacteria that's in there, they're going to reproduce and they use all that food and all that debris that's stuck there. They use it as their fuel and they release an acid and they're just way more prone to cavities.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So those
Crest,
the Crest commercials with the cavity creeps was accurate.
It was. You're more. It's honestly more important to do it at night than in the morning. And if you're going to snack again, you eat again. You brush again.
So the nighttime brushing is actually more important, and it's the less common as far as what people are careful about.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get tired. You don't want to do it. You just want to go to sleep. But
right,
you gotta. And we say 2 minutes. We say 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I would.
You know what I have?
Because nobody does.
I have an electric toothbrush, and it pulsates after 30 seconds, and then it pulsates double after 2 minutes. So I do each quadrant for 30 seconds, and then when I cover all 4 quadrants, then it does a double pulsation.
You're a rarity because most people do not do the full 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll take a minute. If somebody would actually do it for a minute, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
And flossing obviously is important, but I try to like be realistic with what my patients are going to do. So if I know they're for sure not going to floss, I beg them to get a water pick. Those are great.
You know what I do? I don't have a water pick, but I have good pressure in my shower. I just let it shoot into my mouth, and that's my water pick. Does that count?
You would love the water pick. There's a cordless one. You take it in the shower because it gets all over. It's perfect for that. You leave it in your shower. You fill up the little canister because it has a little spout that gets exactly in between. Like you shoot it like around the tooth, and then you pause in between each tooth.
It's like pressure washing your teeth. Out. Okay, I'm gonna go on Amazon after the show, and I'm gonna get the water pick. Do you want to recommend a water pick?
I like the cordless. So the brand. So there are different brands. The actual best one is Water Pick.
It's called Water Pick brand.
I like. Yeah.
With
water
a K
and
or
then
the C?
P-I-K.
C-K?
Yeah.
Water Pick.
K. No C.
No C. P-I-K.
P-I-K.
Water Pick, cordless.
They do have all kinds of fancy ones that can go on your counter. A lot of people don't have room.
So Water Pick brand. It's called Water Flosser. Cordless Pulse. Cordless Pulse. Precision Pulse technology removes up to 99.9% of plaque bacteria, and it's $49.99. Is that an okay price?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the only issue. It's not really an issue, but the only thing with the cordless one is the water canister is smaller, so you have to fill it a few times. But it's not a big deal.
I just added it to my cart, and I'm not getting the protection because I think that's a scam.
No.
So no. And it's in my cart now.
You don't need.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're already using the shower.
Yeah. So just to repeat, you want to brush your teeth in the morning and before bed.
Night.
And the way to remember that is...
And if you eat again,
then brush again. And the way to remember this is uvashachbacha uvkumecha. You could use that if you want. You could tell people that.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell my Jewish patients.
Yeah. No, you could tell non-Jewish patients too. You say it says in the Bible, when you lie down and when you rise up. And it says uvashachbacha when you lie down first. Meaning that's a good vort I have for you. That it says, this is also, by the way, the nighttime Shema is the first Mishnah in the whole Mishnah is about when you say the nighttime Shema. Nighttime, because the world was created first night and then evening. So the nighttime Shema is actually the first Shema, and the morning Shema is the second Shema. Also, when a bar mitzvah boy becomes a bar mitzvah, so his first mitzvah is the Kriyas Shel Arvis, the nighttime Shema. So this is a good word. You're saying you have to brush your teeth twice a day, morning and night. But of the two, the most important one is the nighttime one, which people often forget. But really, that's the one that should come first.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're both important. I wouldn't say.
You told me that it's more important. You said, I'm going to say it back to you. You said it really more important. The nighttime one is more important.
If I had to give it like more important, like maybe by like less than 10% more important.
Okay. But I'm not worried about the morning one because I think people will, like you said, I think people naturally will do the morning one because they'll feel compelled to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe but that might be the only reason for the little bit of less importance is that people are already doing it.
Yeah. And what do you feel about mouthwash? Some people are for it, some are against it.
I find it to be gravy, meaning like extra, not absolutely necessary. It has fluoride. I mean, there are people against fluoride. I am not. I'm pro-fluoride.
Where do you come down on the fluoride debate? Do you think that the government puts it in our water to use mind control on us?
No, I think it's the best thing to ever happen to our waters.
Okay.
Because I see
There's a lot of conspiracy theories about the fluoride. Surely you're aware that there are conspiracy theories about the fluoride.
Yes. So most people aren't downing large quantities of fluoride. Like, especially, I have a lot of patients that don't want it in their toothpaste.
Right.
It's a disadvantage. I feel horrible for the kids that their parents do this, because they're full of cavities, and it's the nature of baby teeth also that they're really, really small amounts of enamel, and the pulp, which is like where the nerve is very large. So when a baby tooth gets like even a small cavity, it hurts. It's big before it's big before you even like had a chance to detect it. So fluoride, what it does is it incorporates itself into the actual structure of the enamel. So enamel has its chemical makeup, and fluoride, you can't ever regrow enamel because the cells that form it.
That's why I heard that if you throw up, you should never brush your teeth for at least an hour after you throw up. Do you agree with that?
That's the acid. Yes.
Because it destroys the enamel.
It's because all the acidity. Yeah.
Yeah, it strips
same
the
reason
enamel.
why you kind of don't brush right after you eat. Yeah, it's the same for eating. You eat and then you don't brush right away. You can rinse, but don't like scrub. The toothpaste is abrasive.
And what do you say about hydrogen peroxide? What about gargling hydrogen peroxide?
Well, that's more. I find hydrogen peroxide is kind of it's a whitening measure. So all whitening strips and over the counter or professional, they're all made of either hydrogen or carbamide peroxide. It's just for whitening. It doesn't do anything extra.
I had a guy tell me that he doesn't brush his teeth. He just swishes hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I have many patients that tell me that. There's nothing to replace your toothbrush and floss. It's the cheapest way to stay out of the dental office.
Okay, so you're saying
really cheapest way.
Swishing hydrogen peroxide is no substitute for real brushing.
No, anything mouthwash related is gravy.
It's gravy. Extra. I use the TheraBreath stuff that has no alcohol in it. The TheraBreath. I don't use the Listerine, which is like all alcohol.
Yeah, I don't like anything with alcohol because it dries the mouth, which, like I said, saliva
promotes
is a good
bacteria.
Thing. Yeah. So I don't like alcoholic mouth rinses. There is one that's prescription that we sometimes give for gum disease called Paradex.
Yeah, but that's because of a disease. It's not a normal
we give it sometimes. It's an antiseptic. It's not like that one's a little bit different. But like, let's say you have gum disease, we sometimes give that mouthwash, not in place of brushing and flossing.
Right.
The same. It's always added to it. And you should, if you are going to rinse with something, you do it at the end because there's usually fluoride in the rinses. And if you want it to get in between the teeth, you want to get the stuff out first.
What is the most dangerous food for your teeth? Can I tell you an experience that I had? Can I tell you my personal experience? Sure. I was eating corn nuts in the airport. You know corn nuts?
Yeah.
And it has an OU. It's one of the few kosher items in the airport lobby bookstore. And I was eating corn nuts, and I cracked the filling. Cracked the whole filling.
I would still say, was it a old silver one?
An old silver filling. I mean, they're not silver. They're silver color. What were they made out of? Mercury, right?
Mercury. It was a combo. It was more than one thing, but it had some mercury.
Yeah, AGME.
So that wasn't only the corn nuts' fault. The old mercury ones, they
very brittle
with age. They last like 60 plus years, and then eventually you could have eaten something soft and it would have also cracked.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened? The filling cracked out, and well, it was like during COVID, so it was like very hard to get appointments, and I was actually enjoying all the isolation, and so I didn't go to the dentist for a few months, and by the time I got around to it, the whole thing was infected. I had to have it pulled out. They pulled it. I had to pull it.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, it happened to me
Luckily,
4 times. I've had 4 teeth pulled. Can you believe I have not had a cavity since I was 20, but I've had, and I'm not even counting my wisdom teeth. I had my wisdom teeth pulled, but all my back molars were pulled. Because
But no cavities, that means the fluoride's working.
Yeah. The fluoride.
Fluoride in the water is working.
Yeah. So we got to be thankful for that. Or maybe the mind control that they're doing is making you think that the fluoride is working. That's the mind control, to make you think the fluoride is working.
It's definitely working.
Definitely working. Okay.
I do my own little research on it. When I see the non-fluoride users versus the fluoride users, you're obviously in large quantities. Like if you're downing toothpaste bottles for some reason, it's toxic. But you're not supposed to eat it. You brush, you spit it out, you rinse.
Yeah.
And the little bit that's in the water is I mean, most people have filters, but if you are drinking tap water, the amount of it you're drinking it also can't be that high quantity.
Mm-hmm. I could talk about dentistry all night.
It is a fun subject. I love dentistry. What I don't like is the business.
Oh, we don't? There's no other callers? So there's no pressure? Why, did they leave? Because I was talking about there's only 2 callers? Oh, okay. So there's no other callers. So, I'm going to ask you a question about teeth.
Go for it.
Yisrael, do you have any teeth questions? No? You don't? Your baby teeth didn't come in? Oh, one of your baby's teeth. My son wants to know about his son, my grandson. When are his teeth going to come in? He didn't get a tooth yet?
How old is he?
6 months. 6 months.
They're any month. This month, next month.
This month or next month. Coming. It's happening.
Usually it could start by normal. No, there is no not normal. But the average baby starts getting them around the 2 bottom ones at 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be different. I have 4 kids, and 3 of them got them at 6, 7 months, and 1 didn't get a single tooth till I think she was 14 months. It's really weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But she's fine now, right?
And it's okay.
She's got all her teeth now?
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
She's now 7.
So there's nothing to worry about.
Some permanent ones? No. So if they don't show up at the time that the textbooks say, you don't get nervous.
And what do you feel about giving the baby teething when babies are teething? What do you think about giving them a little whiskey on the gums?
I always just kind of, I always just put like the pacifier in the freezer, and or like a wet. So
you like the frozen pacifier method over the whiskey?
Yeah. Maybe a little wine. I don't know about whiskey. A little Manischewitz. I would go for that one first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I never see kids complain too much. Everybody always makes a big deal about the baby's teething, but at least from the 4 I have, maybe they're a little more cranky, but they're all right. They'll handle it.
What else? What is the most surprising?
I will say about one more thing about fluoride.
Yeah.
It's better not. I will say the one time I don't use it, I don't use it really until they're like 2.
Don't use fluoride till
Like, so
they're 2.
there's a baby. So, and the main reason is because they don't spit it out. They swallow it. So, like, there's a toothpaste, a lot of them for infants, and it's fluoride free.
Mm-hmm. What is the most surprising dental information? Fact. Fun fact. Most surprising dental fun fact.
Fun fact.
What's the craziest thing about the human teeth?
I mean, it's not that exciting, but the most so there's common missing teeth. Like a kind of percentage of how often a tooth could be missing just congenitally. So the first one, the most common is wisdom teeth, which nobody cares about because they're in the back. But the second most common one is the laterals, which are the 2 next to your 2 top front teeth.
Hold on a second. Those are called laterals?
They're lateral to the centrals, which are your 2 front teeth.
What are the canines?
Those are next to it. Those are the ones.
Oh, so you have the 2 front teeth.
To the side of those.
Which are called the front teeth. Is front teeth the actual term for it? Front teeth?
No, central incisors.
Central incisors.
And you have top and bottom ones.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm trying to learn over here. So you have the top and bottom central incisors. Correct? Okay.
Then if you go one out.
Then don't tell me. You have, you just taught it to me. Right next to it, lateral. You have the lateral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lateral incisors, right.
Lateral incisors. Okay, lateral incisor. Then is the canine teeth? It's called the canine, the pointy one?
Yeah.
That's the one the vampires have a long one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ever treated a vampire?
No, but I've had patients want weird things to their canines.
Oh, who asked?
Like pointy or
really?
Or gems.
Did you do that? Did you sharpen somebody's canines?
No, I usually see that's where I'm not a great salesman. I'm like, you don't need that.
Right.
You're good.
Okay. What about gold
I do
fronts?
what's necessary.
What about you ever have people who want gold fronts?
I've taken off more than I maybe done one.
Mm-hmm.
Gold actually was a great material for crowns because it's soft. So when you bite, it had the ability to kind of
flex
bend a little into the Yeah. So now we don't use it because it's 2 reasons. It's gold and expensive, and it's usually not solid gold, but even so, you have to pay for the weight of the gold, and then it's nobody wants to see it. But the material we use now is zirconia, which is very hard. Mm-hmm. It's tooth colored, it's beautiful, but it's made of a solid piece of ceramic.
Yeah.
So it can actually break an opposing tooth. Over time, it can wear it or even.
Oh my gosh!
It's not necessarily going to break it, but it
sounds like a fatal design flaw.
It's actually the standard now. We use zirconia. You just have to. If you ever saw somebody with all front crowns, from their canine to canine, and if you see it made of zirconia and the bottom is nothing, the bottom is natural. Over about 10 years, you'll see the bottom all worn because the zirconia would eventually wear all that enamel.
Oh my gosh! What's the bicuspid?
Yeah, so gold was a great product. What? Bicuspid is behind the canine. So you have 2 of that. You have 2.
I'm not a shark. I don't have teeth behind my teeth. Sharks have rows of teeth.
Back.
I don't. Oh, you don't mean behind. You mean next to?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my.
I'm going back.
I have my central. How do you differentiate between the 2 central incisors?
So to make it more confusing, every tooth has a number.
Okay.
So you have to. So if you and there's multiple numbering systems, but the one we use in the United States, or at least in Florida, and most of the United States, just orthodontists like to do something weird. But general dentists in the United States use a number system where we count starting with the upper right, which would be the wisdom tooth all the way in the back upper right would be tooth number 1.
Oh, so then the central ones are not 1 and 2?
There is a number system where those are.
But if you start counting from the back, then your central incisors are going to be like 8 and 9.
8, 9.
8, 9.
Correct. If you say tooth number 8, that's your right central incisor.
Okay, so the 8 and 9, and then hold on.
And then when you get
lateral.
To 16,
does it start from the top or the bottom?
You start from the upper right,
the top.
right.
8 and 9 are the top central incisors. Okay, so then you have the lateral. That's the term, lateral, or lateral incisor. Lateral incisor. Yeah. Okay.
You could say lateral.
Lateral, and then you have, and the lateral would be like 10 and 7, 10 and 7.
Left one.
Okay,
right.
And then the bicuspid.
Canines are.
Oh, the canine. Canine.
Then you go to canine.
The canine. Hold on a second. So the canine is going to be like 11 and 8. Is that right?
6.
11 and 6.
11 and 6.
11 and 6. Right. You got to go to. Okay. 11 and 6. Okay. And then what's after the?
Then you have first and second bicuspid. So you have. It's easier to go 1 through 16, and like you're going middle back, which is a way to do it. But if you go tooth 1 upper right, and you go across all the way to the upper left, then you get to the last.
Now let me ask you a question.
Would be 16.
I knew a couple guys who were like this, and I know what the cause was. So I actually know the answer, at least in the 2 guys I knew like this. What if you saw a patient who had, not saying they had pearly white teeth, but like the normal color teeth, within normal range, maybe a little coffee stained, okay? And they had one tooth, let's say it was one of the top central incisors that was brown.
Gray?
Yeah.
Like a gray color?
Yeah. So I know the 2 guys who had that. I know how they got it, but you tell me what that causes. What causes that?
So if the tooth turns like a gray color,
yeah.
It's usually that the nerve is dead.
Yeah, sure. But what caused it?
It could be trauma.
Yeah, what kind of trauma?
What caused the gray color? Oh, I mean, it could be multiple things.
Like what kind of behavior? What kind of behavior?
Rowdy?
The 2 guys, what'd you say, rowdy?
I get it.
The 2 guys I knew who had a brownish, grayish top incisor. Hold on, I want to check the chat and see if any of my smart people in the chat know the reason or know the cause for it. Does anyone know? I'm looking in the chat. Okay, nobody's answering.
Usually it's like the nerve died, and then
but
it could be from like getting hit, or trampolines are known. You get your knee to your mouth.
Okay, so I'm going to tell
cavities can make the nerve die.
The guys,
root canal treatment will also.
Yeah, the guys that I knew who had a dead incisor were they did a lot of cocaine.
Oh no! So the drugs themselves, they don't. So a lot of, because I've had many patients that have like the effects of drug use on their mouth. It usually causes like these cavities at the gum line. These really, really, really terrible, which is an uncommon place to get a cavity because it's an easily washed area. So like if you like feel where your gum and your tooth meet, that area. It's so smooth and it's very easy to brush. Like, even if you're not brushing, you just drink, rinse with something. It's the first area that gets cleansed. So it's not a common area to get cavities unless you have really, really dry mouth, which is an issue that is like that you get with drugs. So,
right. So well, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a cavity.
I see more like if the nerve was dead, they probably got hit.
You think they got hit
as kids?
You think it was like a blunt force trauma that? Because the guys I knew who had a dead front incisor, top front incisor, is because they did a lot of snorting. They snorted a lot of drugs, and that's no. This is not a real thing.
Unless they hit your mouth, there's different effects of it, but I didn't see. It would be on all the teeth. It wouldn't be on one tooth.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah, they probably got hit.
Maybe
they were fighting over the drugs.
Oh, okay, fine. All right, so you're saying there could be a correlation, but it was not caused by drugs. Okay, so that's good news, I guess, that people can know.
It's actually really sad. I see. So you get those two front permanent teeth at age about 6. The two front ones, and which is rough because 6-year-old is calm and quiet. They're all wild. So it's a very big issue. I see probably once a month, and I don't even see kids that much, but once a month I see a kid who knocked the front tooth and either broke it, where they need a root canal and a crown, or they, if it's good, it's just a little chip, but either way, it's a lifetime of dentistry on that tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have kids, I don't know. I would if they have like when like kids use a pacifier and the front kind of comes out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's overgrown, like they have a large overjet. Everybody says overbite, but it's overjet. It's like the front teeth are very sticking out. Yeah. So there's something called phase 1 orthodontics, which I'm not. It's not for everybody, but for kids that have this very protrusive front teeth, I would definitely stick them in some brackets and bring them in, because the first thing that hits the floor if they fall are those two front teeth, and those are the kids that I see the most. Or chips.
Mm-hmm.
Either chip or fractures, but if it's a fracture, it's a nightmare because you can't even do you can't do implants till they're 18.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, tell us one last fascinating dental fact.
Some rare conditions. There's a few rare conditions where people can have 3 sets of teeth.
Okay, that I'd never heard of that.
Yep.
Okay, tell me about that.
You can have 3 sets. I've never seen a full 3rd set, but I've had patients that have some supernumerary teeth, which is like extra, which is pretty cool, actually. But there are certain. It's usually a syndrome where it's with other medical issues, but they can have an entire 3rd set of teeth.
What other medical issues come along with that?
That particular one, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of syndromes that have dental, dental signs and symptoms too. So like certain conditions where like affect the bone, like dysplasias of the bone can also cause like enamel dysplasia where the enamel is malformed, or then there's ones where it affects the middle layer of the tooth, which is the dentinal dysplasia, and a lot of them go with the bone issues because the same components that make up your bone is the same that make up your teeth.
Yes. Okay. So you're saying people who have too many teeth also can have bone issues, God forbid.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be too many teeth or less. You could also be missing. or you could be having the composition of the tooth is
Okay,
not
I
right.
just Googled it. Hyperdontia.
That's extra teeth.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of wild things.
Wait, hold on a second. Somebody with hyperdontia, like, does that mean that just like the baby teeth fall out to make way for the adult teeth, that this person loses their adult teeth and then gets the third set of teeth? Or they don't lose the adult teeth and they just end up with two, like, redundant teeth?
So the reason your teeth fall out altogether, like your primary teeth, your baby teeth, is the permanent one is growing.
They call baby teeth primary teeth?
Against the root.
The technical term for baby teeth is primary teeth?
Yep.
Do you know why that's confusing?
Why?
Primary to me would imply that, like, these are the main teeth. But they're not the main teeth. These are just the warm-up act.
Yeah, I think it's because primary, like, first.
And what do they call the adult teeth?
First set. Permanent.
Permanent. Okay. They don't call it secondary, primary and secondary.
Yeah. No, because then I guess you would be like, well, where's your third set?
Well, some people do have a third set.
Primary and permanent. Yeah.
Okay,
rare,
so you're saying the reason you lose your baby teeth is why?
Is your permanent teeth are kind of pushing against the root. They're growing right up against it, and it causes resorption. So, when your baby teeth come out, they're just a tiny little crown, like tiny.
Yes.
But they actually once had a long root. Pretty long root, actually. Not as long as your permanent, but...
Oh.
And
I always wondered why baby teeth don't have roots on them. I thought that they were just little crowns, and then I was trying to figure out how they even stay in. I was like, well, they don't stay in. That's why they don't stay in. They don't have roots.
No, the reason, because if you try to pull like a baby tooth on a kid who's not ready to lose that tooth,
right? Don't do that.
It's hard. Well, sometimes you have to. If it's,
you're saying if it's like infected, you have to pull it. Okay. You're saying it doesn't just pop out.
Yeah, like if yeah. No, it doesn't. You have to. It's not as easy as you would think. Sometimes it is, but it's definitely not as easy as a loose baby tooth. But a tooth that has the root, the reason it resorbs is the permanent one's right up against it, and it's causing it to slowly kind of disintegrate. If you had a third set, I would imagine the same thing happens. The third set of teeth is causing resorption of the root of the second set.
No.
Eventually you lose
No. So the adult teeth lose their roots?
No. This is like that rare condition.
Yes, I know, but for someone who has that rare condition, the adult teeth lose their roots? The permanent teeth lose their roots?
I would imagine the same thing happens. I don't know if that's for a fact because I've never seen a patient that has three sets. But
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but don't worry, our teeth are solid in there. Just as long as you're brushing and flossing, periodontal disease would cause you to lose teeth prematurely. But
what does it mean that I dream that my teeth are falling out?
Everybody does.
Why? Why is that such a common dream? Why do we all dream that our teeth are falling out? They're cracking and breaking and coming out. Why is that happening? Am I grinding my teeth in my sleep? Do you know, by the way, can I tell you something? The other night, okay, please don't laugh. I had a dream that I was eating this magnificent giant marshmallow. And I woke up and my pillow was gone. I told you don't laugh, please. I had eaten my pillow. And in my dream, I thought it was a marshmallow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also like...
Probably not as tasty.
Yeah. It's also like in your dreaming that you go to the bathroom. That's not a good sign.
No. But the teeth is everybody.
Okay. Why do we dream that our teeth are coming out? That's probably beyond my realm. They don't teach you that in dental school because everything's compartmentalized.
That one there. Nope. I got the tooth fairy's number, but I don't have that answer. Probably because we care about our. I would say I dream about it because
Yeah, well, you dream about
care
teeth
about-
because
yeah, I care
you're
about
looking
my
at
teeth.
teeth. Oh, can I ask you? This is like, I feel so bad to ask this question. Okay, I'm going to ask it. I have to ask it, and I could Google it, but I want to talk to you about this. I heard, and if you don't want to talk about this, you can just tell me. I don't want to go there, but I heard, and I think I even like Googled it once to like confirm this, and I actually knew two people who this happened to. Dentists have a really high suicide rate. Like, I think cops and dentists have the two highest suicide rates. Have you ever heard that? And if you don't want to talk about this, I understand.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind.
So what's up with
I
that?
actually have a pretty strong opinion about it.
Oh, I want to hear about it.
So, sure. Okay. So
I'm going to Google
I would
professions with the highest suicide rates while
this
you're...
is my thought about it. I think the lawyers outbeat us. I think the newest statistic is that the lawyers are the highest rate, but and I feel like the reason is the job itself, like the dentistry itself, can be rewarding, but the whole it became just a very expensive business. So a lot of patients will joke and say, "Oh, this, I'm paying for your next vacation, or I'm paying for your
kid's college,"
and it's yeah. And
I need crowns.
So
doctor, your kid must be doing a 5th year in college. I need crowns.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
those jokes.
I hear that a lot, and it's frustrating a little bit for the dentist and the patient, because I get it. The cost of dentistry is outrageous. Insurances haven't changed their fees. So the insurances haven't actually adjusted their fees for the patient. They haven't started covering more in the last 10 years. But the cost of all things dental are outrageous. Like to keep an office open, people don't realize how crazy expensive it is. Not just the basic like payroll and the lights, but the actual supplies and the dental chair that needs fixing every once in a while. No, not even once in a while. It depends, but it needs fixing here and there. The cost of the lab that makes the dentures and the partials and the crowns. By the time you're done, the only way to make a profit is to charge what you need to charge for the cost of the service. And we're not even including like the student loan that the dentist has to take, which is an outrageous number, that they have to also pay, and the loan for the business. And it's just, by the end, it's like, if you don't charge a certain amount, then you're not going to be able to you're not going to stay open.
Okay.
And so it all becomes very depressing. Like you want to help people, but you're also torn because you
need to stay in
can't
business.
do, for me, it's a blessing. It's a blessing I don't own an office, because I would never make it. I wouldn't, because I can't, you tell me you can't afford it, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it anyway. But that you can't behave like that.
Right.
So for some, I guess it can become, and lonely on top of everything, because if you're the only dentist, you can't afford to have more than one dentist there. There's not enough. Especially in Florida. Other states there's a little different, like mid-country. But in Florida, every step is a dental office. And I'm sure New York's the same. So you can't really always afford to have more than one associate. And so you're by yourself. You're doing this dental work. It's not always easy either. Sometimes you have hard cases. The patients can be a range from grateful to, wishing you never met them. And I guess some people can't maybe release that stress in a healthy way. And so there's one in our community, really sad, periodontist, who took his life like maybe less than 10 years ago, but I remember it. The guy had like 3 kids, young kids. Really
I know 2 dentists who killed themselves. personally. I mean, just because they were in,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to love any job. You have to love what you do, and it has to be worth the time that you're not with your family, or else you need to find something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, that's what I like. That's another reason I have to love wherever I'm working, because that means I'm, besides the paycheck, but that's also the place I'm not. That's taking away from like where my kids might need me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't like what I'm doing, I don't care if it's. I'll find something else.
Yeah.
But if you're not solid in that, like, or if you're not willing to let go of, like, somebody who's like, no, I only know dentistry and I hate it, but I'm going to still do it, then you could easily get caught up in the depression.
Yeah. Oh, this is fascinating stuff. I appreciate you talking with me about all this dentistry stuff. Find it interesting.
Sure. No
It was
pleasure.
an added bonus
and
for
thank
me.
you for answering my question.
Yeah. Okay.
I
All
hope
right.
I actually have my final interview with them tomorrow. So
Okay. All right. God willing, it'll
works out.
be with great success.
Thank you.
Okay. Amazing. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Enjoyed it.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
Bye.
Be well. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Baruch Hashem. That was fun. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hope people enjoyed that. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you thought it was interesting, but I certainly enjoyed that. And yeah, okay.